So assumptions. What exactly do you mean by the word assumption? I'm sure you must have heard this word before, but do you know exactly what it means? Can you tell me what do you understand by the word assumption? To predict something. Not exactly. An assumption is not exactly a prediction. To prediction is to guess something which is going to happen in the future. Right. That's not exactly an assumption. Prediction is something slightly different. Shubhankar, you are giving me the definition of the word according to the textbook, but what does it mean? Right. Right. It is the textbook definition is that it is an unstated premise. That's right. But what do you understand by an unstated premise? Okay. First impressions technically are not assumptions. First impressions are something which are different. Hate says to assume that something is already happened. To assume something is an assumption. Come on. So what do you mean by to assume something? तो आप बोलोगे to make an assumption means to assume something. No, you can't use the same word to define it. Assumption assume से ही आता है. Right. So, like Shubhankar pointed out, an assumption is an unstated premise. But to understand what is an unstated premise, let's take an example, right? So, let's say that I give you a couple of statements. The first statement which I give you is that I am in Ahmedabad. And the second statement which I give you is that Ahmedabad is not Baroda. So, based on these two statements, and you have to assume that these two statements are facts, right? You don't have to doubt these statements. These are facts. So, if you know for a fact that I am in Ahmedabad, and if you know for a fact that Ahmedabad is not Baroda, then can you derive anything based on these two statements? Is it possible to conclude based on these two statements? What do we conclude based on these two statements, right? The most obvious conclusion which everybody is making is that I'm not in Baroda. Now, that is an obvious conclusion that I am not in Baroda, right? For now, we have not assumed anything. So now comes the assumption. Do I need to assume some other fact which is not given to me but which needs to be present for the conclusion? Ahmedabad is not Baroda तो है. Ahmedabad is not Baroda तो already statement है. वो assumption थोड़ी है, वो तो मैंने आपको दिया है, right? See, मैं आपको दो statement दे रहा हूँ. पहला statement है कि मैं अहमदाबाद में हूँ. सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट ये है कि अहमदाबाद बड़ौदा नहीं है. ये दोनों अलग है. तो combining these two statements, you are concluding that if I am in Ahmedabad and if Ahmedabad and Baroda are not the same, that means that I am not in Baroda right now, right? So, if the two statements are true, then is it possible to automatically conclude this conclusion without assuming any other fact? That's right, Pranav. Are you trying what I'm trying to say? I am in Ahmedabad is a fact. Ahmedabad is not Baroda is also a fact. So, are these facts enough to conclude that I am not in Baroda, or do I need something else? If these two statements are true, can you 100% guarantee that the conclusion will always be true? If the answer is no, then what other fact do you need to prove this conclusion? To prove that this conclusion is correct, what other fact do you need which is not given to you? Right? For those who are saying that if I'm in Ahmedabad and Ahmedabad is not Baroda, automatically means that I'm not in Baroda, that means you are saying that there is no assumption required. But guys, there is an assumption which you are making. Look at the statement. I cannot be at two places at the same time. Is it necessary for this fact to be true? Is it necessary for the fact to be true that I cannot be at two places at the same time, right? Did I give you the fact? No. You automatically assumed this and hence you are telling me that I cannot be in Baroda. So I don't need to say that I cannot be in two places at the same time. So it is unstated. But the fact has to be true. Only then the conclusion can be true. If I cannot be at two places at the same time, then and only then it is possible that the conclusion that I am not in Baroda is true. But if it is possible for me to be at two places at the same time, then you cannot say that I am not in Baroda based on the facts. So here there is an assumption. It is not given to you, but it has to be true. The fact that I cannot be at two places at the same time has to be true, and hence it is called an unstated premise. It is not given to you, but it has to be true for the conclusion to be proven true. And if the assumption is false, then the conclusion also becomes false. Right? It is Aditya, yes. Now, whether it is obvious or not, that is left to you. But yes, it is an unsaid fact which is required to prove the conclusion. That very precisely you have given. Devesh, do you accept? आपको ये दो facts समझ में आए? I am in Ahmedabad and Ahmedabad is not Baroda. Did you understand the two facts? Okay. Based on these two facts, can you say I am not in Baroda? If I am in Ahmedabad and Baroda are two separate places, तो automatically क्या है, कह सकते हो कि मैं बड़ोड़ा में नहीं हूं? नहीं. No, you cannot say that. To say that I am not in Baroda, you have to assume that I cannot be in two different places at the same time. क्योंकि अगर अहमदाबाद बड़ोड़ा दोनों अलग जगह भी है और मैं अहमदाबाद में हूं, लेकिन अगर मैं दो अलग जगह पे एक साथ हो सकता हूं, तो मैं बड़ोड़ा में भी तो हो सकता हूं. Amanbir, yes, it is an obvious thing, but is it given to you? You are assuming it, right? It is so obvious that you don't have to say it, but it has to be true. Only if I cannot be at two places at the same time, then you can give me this conclusion. Got it, Devesh? Good. Amanbir, understand? It is obvious and hence I am not saying it. But it has to be true, na? If it is possible for me to be at the same place, two different places at the same time, then you cannot conclude that I am not in Baroda. So you have to assume the fact that it is not possible to be in two places at the same time. That's why it is not given, but it is assumed, and hence it is called an assumption. Amanbir, if you are not getting it, let me give you one more example. Guys, one more example. See, let us say you are telling somebody, you are meeting your friend right now. Right? You are meeting your friend right now. And when you are going to go your own houses, when you are going to depart, you tell your friend, we'll meet tomorrow. Right now, when you are about to go home, you tell your friend, we will meet tomorrow. Is there any assumption you are making here? Exactly, Pranav. Right, Amanbir? Yes, Amanbir, you are making an assumption here also. When you are telling anybody that you are going to meet tomorrow, you are assuming that you will be alive tomorrow. You are assuming that kal zinda rahoge. Because if you are alive, only then you will be able to meet. If you are not alive, you are not going to be able to meet somebody. But it is so obvious. You don't say zinda rahe to kal milenge, right? You just say kal milenge. But you have to assume that you will be alive, only then you can meet the other person tomorrow. So the fact that you will be alive tomorrow is being assumed. You are not openly saying it, but you have to assume. That's why a person who is suffering from an terminal illness, जिसको गारंटी नहीं है कि वो कल जिंदा रहेगा, वो कभी ये नहीं बोलेगा कल मिलेंगे. He'll say जिंदा रहा तो कल मिलूंगा. But a healthy person will not say that. He will simply say we will meet tomorrow. But you have to assume that you will be alive tomorrow. Without that assumption, your statement does not work. Did you get that? So Amanbir, the entire exercise today is the assumptions like that. So you only have to understand. They will give you an assumption, they will give you a statement, and you will be asked, is this assumption required for the statement? What do? You apply a test. You say, if the assumption is true, only then the statement is true. And if the assumption becomes false, then the statement also becomes false. Then in that case, the assumption is correct. But changing the value of the assumption does not make any difference to the statement, then that assumption is not required. Did you get that? Are you getting what I'm saying? This test is the easiest way to identify an assumption. When you are asked, you will be given an assumption and you have to identify whether the assumption is required for the statement or not. Right? Let me give you examples. Chalo, examples se main samjhata hu. Right? Easiest thing to understand here is, let's take these examples. For example, I write a notice on the board. राइट, स्कूल में मैं नोटिस बोर्ड पे कुछ लिखता हूं. अब मैं नोटिस बोर्ड पे जब कुछ लिखता हूं, what is the assumption that I'm making? Am I assuming something when I write something on the notice board? The assumption I'm making is that people will read it. Right? If I assume that people will read my notice, then I will write on the notice board. But if I can't assume that, if I don't assume that people will read it, then it is useless writing on a notice board. I will not write. So when I'm putting up a notice, the first thing I will assume is that everybody is going to read it. इसीलिए तो मैं notice board पे लिखता हूं. Whether it actually happens or not is not what we are looking at. But when you are putting a notice, what are you thinking in your mind? That everybody will read it. If you assume everybody will read it, then you will put the notice. But if you can't assume that people will read it, then obviously you are not going to put the notice. It will be useless. So whenever any notice is there, you have to, the first assumption is that people will read it. Are you getting that, guys? Remember, this is a trick. It's a shortcut. So in an assumption question, if the statement is in the form of a notice, then the default assumption is that people will read it. Similarly, if something is given as an advertisement, then, no, Kavya, the assumption is that people want whatever is being advertised. Of course, I want that they purchase it, but if I say this car is cheap, then my assumption is that people want cheap cars. If I say this shampoo will make your hair smooth, assumption is people want smooth hair. If I say this bike will give you maximum mileage, assumption is that people want maximum mileage from a bike. So whatever quality I am giving in an advertisement, my assumption is that people want that particular thing. That's why I will give that quality. If I'm not using something to describe a product, maybe people don't want it. So whatever I'm using to describe and sell a product, my first assumption should be that people want whatever description I'm giving. No, whether they're financially capable or not, I don't assume that. They can buy it on EMI. Loan leke kharido. I don't care whether they have the financial capacity or not. That is secondary. My first assumption is that people want whatever I'm describing. If they want it, then they will buy it. Right? But forget the financial capacity part. The first and most crucial assumption is that people want whatever description I'm giving about the product. Right? Usi tarah, when somebody gives an advice to someone else, you assume that the other party listens to your advice. अगर कोई मेरी बात सुनता ही नहीं है तो मैं उसको एडवाइस ही नहीं दूंगा. So whenever an advice is given, the first assumption is that the other person is listening to that advice. And similarly, threat, धमकी के लिए, the other person is afraid of that threat. Whether it will be followed or not is secondary, but they will listen to it, Kavya. Advice मानेंगे वो पता नहीं, but सुनेंगे जरूर. मानेंगे वो secondary बात है, लेकिन पहले सुनेंगे. Right? They will listen to the advice. Whether they follow it or not is secondary. But before somebody follows my advice, they first have to listen to it. So my primary assumption is that people listen to my advice. And similarly, if I threaten somebody, जिस चीज की मैं धमकी दे रहा हूं, my first assumption is that people are afraid of that threat. Right? If the other person is not scared of what I'm threatening, then obviously that threat is useless. Right? Advice will be followed is the secondary assumption. Before somebody follows your advice, they first have to listen to it. कोई तुम्हारी बात सुन ही नहीं रहा है, तो follow क्या करेंगे? So the first assumption is that people listen to that advice. Right? We can assume multiple things. Assumptions can be multiple. I'm just talking about some basic assumptions. So now, did you understand a basic funda of assumption? If because of the assumption the statement works, and not making the assumption makes the statement also not work, then the assumption is true. Right? So let's take a few examples to understand this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you through a few examples, let's say 5 examples. Right? Once you start getting a hang of the first few examples, then I will send you the exercise, give you some time, and we will discuss. But first, let me take you through the first few examples together. So let's take the first statement. Now, what is the first statement? The statement is that, quite independent of global economic meltdown, India's neglect of its physical infrastructure has been a malaise demanding radical treatment. Malaise means sickness, illness, right? India has neglected the physical infrastructure, because of which it is a sickness and it requires radical treatment. And this is irrespective of global economic meltdown. This is the statement. Now, to make this statement, what are we resuming? First, the first one says radical treatment would reduce the adverse effect of global economic meltdown and India's neglect. Guys, the statement is saying independent of global economic meltdown, India's physical infrastructure neglect and global economic meltdown are not connected. So why do I need to assume that the radical treatment will reduce the effect of global economic meltdown? The statement says that global economic meltdown has nothing to do with my infrastructure. So why do I need to assume any effect on global economic meltdown? Do I need to assume any effect on global economic meltdown? Because my statement is saying whatever happens, it does not matter in the globe. India's neglect is independent of it. So do I need to assume something about global economic meltdown? No. So my first one is not required. गौतम, स्टेटमेंट में कहा है कि ग्लोबल इकोनॉमिक मेल्टडाउन से कोई लेना देना ही नहीं है. इट इज इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ द मेल्टडाउन. सो व्हेन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर निग्लेक्ट इन इंडिया हैज नथिंग टू डू विद ग्लोबल इकोनॉमिक मेल्टडाउन, do I need to assume anything about global economic meltdown? No. So first assumption is not required. Whether it will reduce the economic, whether radical treatment will reduce the effect of global economic meltdown or not, has nothing to do with my statement. So first is not required. Did you get that? First one is not required. Did you understand it? The first assumption is not required. Now the second assumption. Physical infrastructure is the base of high growth trajectory. Now whether physical infrastructure is the base of high growth trajectory or not, does it make a difference to the given statement? Even if physical infrastructure is not the base of high growth trajectory, I can still say that infrastructure requires radical treatment. So whether I assume it or not makes no difference. So neither one of the two is actually making any difference. Assume करो ना करो कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता है. So these assumptions, both of them are useless. Whether you assume them or not, it does not affect my statement. Did you get that? No. Dhanil, you don't have to prove the statement correct. You have to say, is the assumption correct for the statement? Statement तो सही ही है. Statement सही है. The statement is already correct. You have to tell me which assumption is required for the statement. Statement is correct. Now, see, the statement says that in India, physical infrastructure is neglected, because of which it needs to be radically treated. Did you understand the statement, Namra? Right? Now, whether physical infrastructure is the base of high growth trajectory or not, does it make a difference on whether it should be treated or not? Even if it is not the base of high growth trajectory, if it is bad, it needs treatment. So second assumption का कोई लेना देना ही नहीं है, and hence it is not required. Even if physical infrastructure is the base, it may need treatment. Even if it is not the base, it may still need treatment. So the second assumption makes no difference. Right? Chalo. Let's do few more examples so that you slowly and steadily start understanding these things. Yes, Dhanil, exactly. You have to see whether the assumption supports the statement or not. If the assumption supports it, or rather, if the statement depends on the support of the assumption, then the assumption is true. But if the statement works even without that assumption, then the assumption is not required. Now, did you get that? Chalo, Param. The difference between either and both is, I'll give you a classic example to understand either and both. If I say, I have exactly one child, I give you two options. One, I have a daughter. Second, I have a son. Which of these assumptions is correct? Either or, right? Because it is not possible to have both a son and a daughter when I have only one child. Right? So if I have got only one child, it can be a son or it can be a daughter, but it cannot be both. Did you understand that? Both of them cannot be true at the same time. अब both क्या होता है? Let us say my statement is I have a son. First assumption, he is a human being. Second, he is not a woman. Both of them are correct at the same time. So did you understand the difference between either or option and both option? Chalo. Moving on to the second one. Anger is energy in a more proactive way, and how to channelize it is in itself a skill. Right? Channelizing energy is a skill. First assumption, do I need to say that anger needs to be channelized? No, Shubhankar. Don't go for something as simplistic as shabd match kar gaya to assumption hai. Nahin. You have to think more than that. It's not that simple. Do I need to say that anger needs to be channelized? No. I can say murdering people is skill. But that does not mean murder needs to be done, right? So even if anger management is a skill, it does not mean that it needs to be channelized. Right? Even if it does not need to be channelized, it can still be a skill. So first assumption is not required. First assumption is not required. Second, if it is a skill, then it simply means only skillful. See, if only skillful people can channelize anger to energy, that means that channelizing it is a skill. Because if everybody can do it, it does not mean that it is a skill. So I am assuming that only people possessing the skill can do it, so it is a skill. So second assumption is required. Vanshika, did you get that? Right? अगर सिर्फ स्किल वाले लोग कर सकते हैं, उसका मतलब है कि दिस एक्टिविटी इटसेल्फ इज अ स्किल. बिकॉज इफ एवरीबडी कुड डू इट, दैट मीन्स इट इज नॉट अ स्किल, इट इज एन ऑर्डिनरी टास्क. सो हियर only the second assumption is implicit. Did you get that? Here only the second assumption is implicit. Now, the government may reduce the export duty, that is export tax on basmati rice, in view of competition from Pakistan in the international market. Right? Now, do I need to assume that reduction in export duty will increase exports? If reduction in export duty does not lead to increasing exports, then why is the government thinking of reducing it for to fight the competition? See, कंपटीशन की वजह से सरकार बोल रही है कि एक्सपोर्ट ड्यूटी को कम कर देंगे. उसका मतलब यही है ना कि एक्सपोर्ट ड्यूटी को कम करने से हम कंपटीशन से लड़ पाएंगे. राइट? प्रणव, लेस प्राइस मीन्स मोर एक्सपोर्ट्स, राइट? So we are, Namra, don't think about other exports than rice. If rice export is facing a problem due to competition and the sarkar says rice ka export duty kam kar dunga, are they assuming दैट राइस का एक्सपोर्ट ड्यूटी कम करने से ज्यादा एक्सपोर्ट होगा? आर दे अज्यूमिंग दिस? Rice export is facing competition. Government says because there is competition we will reduce the tax. What are they assuming? कि tax को reduce करने से ज्यादा export होगा? Yes or no? Whether it happens or not is other, but is the government assuming that? Correct? So government assumes कि tax कम करने से competition में हम fight कर पाएंगे, इसीलिए वो कम कर रही है. So first is 100% an assumption. Correct? Now, do I need to assume that Pakistan is an exporter of basmati rice? Think about it, guys. Do I need to assume that Pakistan is an exporter of basmati rice? If you say yes, then why? Why do I need to assume that? Where is it mentioned, Ansh? Where is it mentioned? Just rice क्या होता है? Vanshika, we are talking only about basmati rice. हाँ, competition with Pakistan. So, even if Pakistan does not export basmati rice, can it still be a competition for us in the international market? Pakistan does not export basmati rice. Can it be a competition to India in the international market? The answer is yes. Because Pakistan itself is international market for us. So पाकिस्तान तो खुद के ही देश में बेच रहा है, लेकिन फिर भी हमारे लिए तो वो इंटरनेशनल मार्केट ही है ना. नो मानुष, Pakistan does not have to be an exporter to be a competitor for us in the international market. Pakistan is selling to itself and we are selling to Pakistan. Competition अपने हमारे लिए तो वो इंटरनेशनल मार्केट. Pakistan is an international market for us, right? So even without Pakistan exporting to other countries, it is still a competition for our international market. Yes, Ansh, did you get that? No, Manush, it does not explicitly mention that. And that is what exactly we are talking about. Assumptions, unstated premises, things which are not explicitly given. वही तो trick है. Are you getting it? This is exactly what you have to think. Why should they mention? They have not mentioned it. But you don't need to so I don't need to assume that Pakistan is an exporter. Even if Pakistan is not an exporter, it can still provide competition to us in the international market, that is Pakistan itself. So even without assuming that it is an exporter, it still works. Right? Do you get that? Others? Yes. So only the first assumption actually works. Is everybody with me so far? Okay, Amanbir, previous one. Can I say that cutting off somebody's head is a matter of great skill? Do you agree? Cutting off somebody's head is a matter of great skill. Does that mean that we need to cut people's head off? Cutting somebody's head takes great skill. Does that mean that we need to cut somebody's head? No. So look at it. Anger, channelizing energy is a skill, but that does not mean that it needs to be done. Right? So first assumption is not required. Right? Exactly. Chalo. Next one. People of all ages have found us good people to grow with. If people think that we are good people to grow with, aren't they actually wanting to grow? Because if people don't want to grow, will they consider us as good people to grow with? Will they even care? No, right? If people don't want to grow, they won't care whether we are good to grow with or not. So when people say that we are good people to grow with, we have to assume that they want to grow. That is why they are looking at us as good people to grow with. First one is definitely required. Now, we are good people is given to you guys. People have found us good people to grow with. They are saying we are good people to grow with. An assumption is something which is not said. Here we are good people is already said, and hence it is not an assumption. Only the first one is actually an assumption. The second one is already given in the statement, and an assumption is not something which is given to you. And hence, the second one by definition is not an assumption, only A. Do you get that? The second one is given to you in the statement, hence, it is not an assumption. Okay? Now this is an easy one. Enjoy your challenges. An advertisement of a car brand. Right? Do people wish to enjoy challenges? Do people wish to enjoy challenges? If people like advertisement में मैंने क्या कहा? Advertisement में you always assume whatever you are saying people want it. So the first one is a default assumption. We are assuming people want to enjoy challenges. That's why we are saying enjoy your challenges. If we don't assume that people want to enjoy challenges, then we won't put it in the ad, right? We think people like to enjoy challenges. That's why we are saying that our enjoy your challenges. So first one is an assumption, right? Second, if there are people who are willing to buy a car, only then I will put a car ad. If there are no people who are willing to buy a car, मैं कार का ad ही नहीं दूंगा, right? So both of them need to be. ये समझ में आया? और जैसे मैंने ad में कहा था, in an advertisement, whatever is given, first assumption, people want it, right? Okay, Yash, I'm going back to the previous one. You had a question in this one? You had a question in this, Yash? No? Okay. So guys, are you now getting an idea of what is meant by an assumption? Are you getting an idea of what is meant by an assumption? Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm sending you a PDF of assumption questions. The first 5 we have already done. I'll give you about half an hour. Solve as many questions as you can. And then we will resume the session and we will discuss those questions, right? So I'm giving you the document. Some of you should have already got it. I think most of you should have got it by now. I'll give you 30 minutes to attempt as many questions as you can, right? And once you are done with that, then we will discuss these questions. Has everybody received the PDF? Okay. So you may start anytime. You have 30 minutes to attempt as many questions as you get, and then we will discuss them. So try them. Chalo, see you in 30 minutes. Time up, guys. Okay, so how was the exercise? How did we find it? Were we able to solve a sizable number of questions? Excellent. In fact, some of you were quickly able to do in about 20 minutes flat, and you had seen some of the examples before. Excellent. So if you have already done this exercise before and then you are able to recall them, then that is good, right? If you have done this sort of questions before and still you're not able to recall them, then that means that you have not analyzed it properly. So for those who have done these questions before, you should be able to get almost all of them correctly, right? And for those who are doing it for the first time, let's see, with enough practice, you should be able to do it faster, right? So for those who are doing it for the first time, let's see how many of these questions we got correct. So moving ahead, let's take a look. We took a look at the first 5 questions, starting with the 6th one. The statement, it glitters, so it is gold. Are we assuming that all that glitters is gold? Yes. Why not, Dvija? Why not? See, if we assume that everything that glitters is gold, only then we can say, okay, because that is glittering, it is gold. If everything that glitters is not gold, then based on the glitter of this thing, how can we say that it is gold? We are saying this is glittering, so it is gold. That means we are assuming that everything that glitters has to be gold. Yes, from a generalization we derive statements, right? Manush, the assumption is not coming from the statement. The statement should come from the assumption. So, from a generalization, you always get a specific instance. So, if I assume that everything that glitters is gold, then if this glitters, it must be gold, right? So, the assumption is right. Manush, Dvija, did you get that? If all that glitters is not gold, then just because that is glittering, I cannot say it is gold. But this is glittering and I'm saying it is gold. That means I'm assuming that everything that glitters is gold. So the first assumption is definitely right. And the second assumption, no, Dvija, it's written as an assumption. The question literally says assumptions, right? So always remember that. And the second is the exact opposite. If glittering things are not gold, then I cannot say this is gold because it glitters. So only the first assumption is required. The second assumption is exactly opposite of what is given, right? So this is not true. So Aditya, the statements have to be true based on the assumptions, right? The assumption, if it is true, then and only then the statement is true. If the assumption is not true, then the given statement will not hold valid. That is what we are doing here, right? Amanbir, it cannot be either. How can the second assumption be true at any point of time? If I assume that glittering things are not gold, then because this glitters, can I say that it is gold? Amanbir, if I am assuming that glittering things are not gold, and if this is glittering, I cannot say it is gold, right? So I have to assume that all that glitters is gold. Only the first statement is definitely true. Now, the statement, these considerate and pampering coaches also cane their players, right? Can I assume that people with conceited ideas are generally not expected to cane and pamper their players? Conceited is a person who thinks too much about himself, a person who is very boastful, a person who thinks that I'm great. That is a conceited person. Do I need to assume about people who have conceited ideas? That is irrelevant to this. So the first one does not make any sense because the coaches that we are talking about are the considerate and pampering ones. So if at all I need to assume anything, it is about considerate coaches, not conceited ideas wale coaches. So first assumption is irrelevant, not required. It is good if a coach knows to cane and pamper. Now, whether it is good or bad is irrelevant to whether they actually do it. If it is good, then also it is possible that coaches cane the players. Even if it is not good, it is still possible that coaches do it. So whether it is good or bad is also irrelevant. So neither one of them is required. And okay, now Shubhankar, even if it was, let us assume that it is wrongly written, right? Let's assume that it is wrongly written. Let's assume that it is considerate. First of all, it cannot be people with considerate ideas. But let's assume that it is people with considerate ideas. Now, whether you expect considerate people to beat or not, the reality does not depend on that assumption. You may assume that they will beat, you may assume they may not beat. But the fact that they actually beat is not dependent on that. So even if it is considerate and not conceited, one is still not an assumption. Shubhankar, you get that? Even if it is a spelling mistake, even if it is not conceited, even if the word is considerate, A still is not an assumption. Chalo. Next one. Advertisement. We produce the best football. First assumption has to be true that people respond to such an ad. Because if the people do not respond to such an ad, the company will not give such an ad. कंपनी कोई एड तभी देगी ना जब उसको लगेगा कि पीपल आर गोइंग टू रेस्पॉन्ड टू इट. इफ आई मेक एन एड बट देन आई थिंक दैट पीपल आर नॉट गोइंग टू रेस्पॉन्ड, will I use such an ad? No. So, Dvija, I am not judging people's response. I am not concluding. I am assuming it. Understand something. Whether they will respond or not in reality, I don't know. But when I make an ad, I will only use it if I assume that it is such that people will respond to it. When you give an exam, do you assume that you will pass the exam? Yes, you always try to assume that you will pass the exam. If you cannot assume that you will pass the exam, you won't appear for it. कोई मतलब ही नहीं है देने का. Now, in reality, whether you pass or not is irrelevant. But before you give the exam, your assumption is that you will clear it. So, Dvija, when you are using an ad, whether people will respond it to not, I don't know. But my assumption is that people will respond to it, and that's why I'm using it. In reality, whether it happens or not, I don't know. But my assumption is that it should happen. Do you get? That's why it's called an assumption. Yes, Ansh. Ads are basically made with the assumption that people will respond to the ad. If I make an ad and I assume कि इस ad से कोई response ही नहीं मिलेगा, तो मैं वो ad use ही नहीं करूँगा ना. Right? I will create an ad and use it only when I assume that people are going to respond to it. Now, in reality, they may or they may not. But I will use it only when I assume that people will respond to it. So, people will respond, obviously. And when the company is claiming it makes footballs, it will do so only when it assumes that there is a demand for footballs. Right? If the company will basically manufacture and sell footballs because they think people will buy it. Today, is there any company which manufactures typewriters? No, because there is no demand for typewriters. Right? Whatever a company manufactures, it always thinks that it will be able to sell it because there is a demand. So here, both of them have to be true. Did everybody get it? This is one of the easier ones. Ad के अंदर हमेशा assumption, I told you. In the beginning itself, I told you. For ads, the default assumption is that people want it, people will respond to it. Okay. Now, to my astonishment, the lame man started walking normally when the priest touched him. There is a man जो लंगड़ा है, lame. A priest touched him and the man started walking. If you see this event, it can be only one of two possibilities. Right? Either the priest is a magician, he can genuinely heal people, or you will think, okay, there is fraud happening. It is either a genuine case of magic or it is a case of fraud. दोनों में से कोई एक तो अज्यूम करोगे आप दोनों को साथ, यू वोंट अज्यूम बोथ ऑफ देम टुगेदर, and there is no third possibility which generally comes to your mind, right? Either genuinely it is magic or it is a case of fraud. So either one of them is true, either one of them is true, either one or two. Ansh, is it possible that it is magic and it is fraud at the same time? Is it possible that it is both magic and fraud at the same time? If it is magic, how is it fraud? If it is fraud, how is it truly magic? It cannot be both. I do not know what it is. So I will assume या तो genuine है या तो fraud है. Yes, only first. How is it 100% fraud? Do you know that it is 100% fraud? Why is it illogical, Soham? Why is the second one illogical? It's in your mind it is illogical. But why should I assume that it is illogical? There is a possibility that it is magic. Who knows? Why can't I assume? I'll have to assume one of them. Give me proof. And then we'll know what is the truth. Why is the second one not logical? Yash. Why is the second? I'm not saying whether it, and secondly, why does it have to be logical? I'm not looking at logic or not. When an ordinary person sees such an incident, there are only two possible explanations. या तो मैजिक है या तो फ्रॉड है. दोनों में से कोई एक होगा. I do not know क्या है. Depending on what I think, it can be either one of them. I can assume, if I'm not a logical person, I may assume it is magic. If I'm a logical person, I may assume it is fraud. But one of these two assumptions is necessary. Do you get that? Do you get that? And hence, the second one can be considered. So, Soham, Yash, do you get that? Okay. Akash, if something is fraud, if you assume something is fraud, will you assume the same thing is genuine? Akash, tell me. No. So, if you assume something is genuine, will you assume that it is fraud? No. So, which one will you assume? You will either assume that it is genuine or you will assume that it is fraud. You won't assume both at the same time. And hence either or. No, Malay. According to the statement, assumptions are not facts. You have to tell me which is a fact. You have to tell me which is a fact. Right? Both of them can be facts, but not at the same time. If you in front of your eyes, you see a priest touching a man and curing him, only one of two possibilities exist. Either the man has magic in his hands, or they are doing some sort of fraud. Malay, do you get that? Right? So you will, if you are a person who believes in magic, you will assume it is magic, or you may assume that it is a fraud. You won't assume both, but you will assume at least one of them. Which one, I don't know. So either one of the assumptions can be possible. Without making one of you, it's not possible that you don't make either one of these assumptions. Either one of the two assumptions has to be made. Right? Okay. The Indian nuclear explosions have exposed the hypocrisy of the nuclear haves and have filled the Indians with a sense of pride. Why do I need to assume that Indians are proud? Right? In this case, I got pride. But even if Indians are not generally proud people, it is possible that in one case I get pride. So my first assumption is not required. Second, because of the nuclear explosion, the hypocrisy was exposed. But how can you assume that if the nuclear explosion did not take place, then the hypocrisy would never have been exposed? Why? Maybe some other incident would have exposed it. Why do I need to assume that without the nuclear explosion, the hypocrisy would never have been exposed? I don't need to assume this. हो सकता है कोई और इंसिडेंट से एक्सपोज हुआ हो. This assumption is not necessary. Even without assuming this, my statement still stands. Right? Namra, it's not mentioned. Namra, the reverse thing is mentioned. It is said that the explosion exposed hypocrisy. Do I need to assume that without the explosion it would not have been exposed? No. Right? Kavya, yeah, I felt proud because of this. But does that mean generally I am proud? I may not be a proud person in general. But in this one instance, I felt pride. So the first one is not necessary. Yeah, Namra. Now I'm talking about the first one. See, the one incident, you are a clever boy. You are a clever boy. It's a generalization. You solved this one sum. If you solved this one sum, हो सकता है कि fluke हो. Why do I need to assume that you are a clever boy? This one sum you may know, but that does not mean you are a clever boy in general. So because I'm feeling proud because of this one incident does not mean I'm a proud person in general. So neither one of them. Correct. शुभम, कौन सा पार्ट समझ में नहीं आया? See, if Indians are proud people or Indians are not proud people, does that make a difference to feeling proud at the achievement of nuclear explosion? Shubham, let's take a look at it like that. Whether you are proud in general or not, you can always feel pride because of one particular incident, yes or no. So whether you are proud or not, it makes no difference. So first assumption is not required. वो पार्ट समझ में आ गया? चलो. Now, whether their hypocrisy was exposed by this or some other incident, it does not matter. Do I need to assume कि इसकी अगर न्यूक्लियर एक्सप्लोजन ना होता तो हिपोक्रेसी कभी एक्सपोज ही ना होता? डू आई नीड टू अज्यूम दैट? सो नाउ डिड यू अंडरस्टैंड कि दोनों अजम्पशंस ना भी हो तो भी अपना स्टेटमेंट तो काम करता है. सो वेदर दिस अजम्पशन इज यूज्ड और नॉट, the statement always works. So the assumption is not required. Right? Okay. So Manush, now coming back. I was waiting for somebody to give me the all that glitters wala example. Yes, good. See. All that glitters is gold. If I assume, then when I say this glitters, I conclude this gold. That is generalization से specific case. Right? Now, यहाँ पे if I say Indians are proud people for every incident, then I can say because of this incident I have to be proud. But Indians being proud and feeling pride for a particular instance is not the same as the glitters wala example. Whether Indians are proud, even if Indians are not proud people in general, I can always feel pride because of an achievement of the country. I'm not deriving that pride from this statement. So the glitters wala example is different. That generalization say specific is not applied here. It is not applicable. There are two different examples. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Yes. Now you got it, Manush. Now you got it. Right, guys? So, both of these assumptions are irrelevant. Whether you assume or not, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. चलो. Medicine X is a drug which is causing ripples in the medical field. Medicine X की वजह से सनसनी फैली है. Can I say that do I need to assume that no other drug is causing ripples? No. हो सकता है दूसरे ड्रग्स भी रिपल्स कर रहे हैं, सनसनी फैला रहे हैं. So whether other drug is causing ripples or not has no effect on the statement. It is possible there are other drugs. It is possible there is no drug. It makes no difference. So the first assumption is not required. It is irrelevant. Right? Now, does a medicine need to be great to cause ripples means sensation phailana. Does a medicine have to be great to cause sensation? No. Aditya very rightly says it may be a fraud or ineffective drug. Even because of negative reason, it can cause ripples. So I don't need to assume that it is great. It can be so bad that people are talking about it, right? It's not always good things that cause sensation or ripples. Sometimes things are bad and they cause ripples. So here, neither one of them is required. Ansh also gives me a great example of Patanjali's Coronil. Now, Amanbir also has a great point. Amanbir says, if it was positive ripples, then could second be true? Yes. Only if it is a great drug, then it causes positive ripples. Then that would have been acceptable. You're right, Amanbir. Good point. Now, do we move ahead? Chalo, badhiya hai. Now, I like some of these alternate statements which you guys are giving. Okay, if I twist or change the statement or assumption, then will it work? I want you guys to think like that. It's very good because you're also thinking of the alternate possibilities, and that is how you learn. So, guys, don't hesitate. Do make changes and ask how it will affect the answer, right? It's very good. Chalo. A says to B, don't take black grapes, they are sour. Advice ka, what is our default assumption? The default assumption is first you listen and second you follow. We were talking about that, right? So, do we assume that B would follow the advice? Yes. कोई अगर हमारी सलाह नहीं मानेगा तो हम एडवाइस क्यों देंगे? So first they will listen and second they will follow. If B is not going to follow the advice, why would A give that advice? So first assumption, yes. Why would you advise don't do it? Because you know people don't like it, right? If you don't assume that people do not prefer sour grapes, then you won't advise against it. You are assuming people don't want sour grapes. That's why you are saying don't eat black grapes, they are sour. So, both one of them. Right? Did you get that? No, Soham. If some people, Soham, if some people prefer sour grapes, then A will not say don't take black grapes. They are sour. A will say if you don't like sour grapes, don't take black grapes. Right? But he is giving a general advice. So the assumption is not people do not prefer sour grapes. The assumption is that A assumes people do not prefer sour grapes. You have to look at it like that. Right? If A assumes people don't prefer sour grapes, then he will always advise people not to eat black if they are sour. If A does not assume that people do not prefer sour grapes, if A does not assume that, he will say, if you don't like sour, then don't eat black grapes. But he is not saying if you don't like sour grapes. He is saying khatte hain mat khao. So he's assuming that people don't like it. You have to, Aditya, you're right. You have to look at the assumption from the speaker's perspective. Right? You have to look at it from the speaker's perspective. If A assumes that only B does not prefer sour grapes, the statement may be don't take black grapes because they are sour, which you don't like. He's giving a general advice. So in his mind, people don't prefer sour grapes. And that's why, because they are sour, he says don't eat it. Yes, it is a personal advice. But what is the assumption that A is making in his mind? If A does not assume that people do not prefer sour grapes, then A may not give this general advice. He may give that because you don't like sour grapes, don't eat them. But he's saying they're sour, don't eat. So he thinks people don't like sour grapes. Okay? Yes, it is. Shubhankar, it is. We have to only look from the speaker's perspective, however. In A's mind, people do not prefer sour grapes. That's why he's advising B don't eat black grapes, they are sour. चलो, many cotton farmers are committing suicide due to lack of rains. Devesh, you are taking the other way. It's not that A doesn't like sour grapes. The assumption is A thinks people don't like sour grapes. A's preference is not talked about. If Amanbir, yes, if the second statement was some people, that he's assuming some people don't like sour grapes, then, and he's telling this, then he's including B in the sum. It becomes complicated. The question becomes complicated. ठीक है, Amanbir, Devesh, previous one. The question is not about A liking or not liking. It's what A thinks is the liking of others. No, Amanbir, it becomes complicated then. Amanbir, if the way you are saying is given, then the answer becomes very complicated. Because then it becomes difficult to assume anything. So such question should not come then. Right? It becomes very difficult to say what is true or false when sum is introduced. Okay, coming to this question. First assumption, not true. Because I don't know about others. Cotton farmers are committing suicide, but whether others are or not, whether others are doing it or not is irrelevant to my statement. So first is not required. And obviously I have to assume cotton is dependent on rain. So because there is no rain, cotton farmers are committing suicide. If cotton was not dependent on rain, then why would I make the statement that cotton farmers are committing suicide because of there is no rain? Right? So only the second assumption is true. In this case, second assumption is true. Did you get that? Yes, Aditya. If rain ki jagah pe water hota, that cotton is dependent on water. See, assumption will work. No, cotton is dependent on water. Then due to lack of rain, it becomes complicated because then again you have to assume that there are other means of irrigation. Shubhankar, Soham, you are still stuck on the previous one. Did you get this one, guys? If cotton is only dependent on rain, नहीं. Only यशवी shift करना पड़ेगा. Cotton is dependent on only rain. वैसा होता, हाँ. It does not make a difference. It will be still the same. The answer will still be the same. The answer will remain the same. ठीक है? चलो. A statement is made, and guys, this is somebody saying this because it's within double quotes. Evaluation from the project guide, who is in charge of our project, is very important to grade you favorably. If somebody is giving guidance about the grades, do I assume that the listener is concerned about it? Yes. Whatever I'm saying, I have to assume that the listener is seeking about, is concerned about it. So definitely the first one. Now, one criteria I have said is important or not, but whether other criteria are necessary or not, I don't know. So I cannot say no other criteria is necessary. I can say the guide is necessary, but about other criteria, I don't know. And hence only the first option is one. The second, I cannot assume. Whether other criteria are important or not, I don't know. So the first assumption is true. The second, nah. Did you get that? Now first one. If the listener, see, the statement is a speech said by somebody because it is in double quotes. Shubham, जो statement है उसमें ध्यान से देखो, double quotes दिए हुए. That means somebody is saying this. They are telling कि grades में project guide important है. Now, whenever they are telling that the project guide is important, aren't they assuming that the listener is worried about grades? That's why they're telling what is important for grades. If the listener is not worried about grades, would you tell them what is important in it? Right? So first assumption समझ में आ गया. And second assumption तो obviously गलत है. So now did you understand the question, Shubham? Okay. Aditya says students are listening. Yes, Aditya, that is a default assumption because this is advice. So advice mein default assumption is that students are listening and also students will follow it. But did you get that? That is a default assumption. Chalo, good. A says to B, if you want coffee, buy Nescafe. Now, guys, here pay attention. A is not saying buy Nescafe. A is not saying buy Nescafe. A is saying if you want coffee, then buy Nescafe. If condition. So, do you have to assume that B wants to buy coffee? No. Because A is giving a choice. A is saying, खरीदना हो तो खरीदना हो तो Nescafe खरीद, वरना मत खरीद. He says, if you want to buy coffee, then buy Nescafe. So he's not assuming that B wants to buy coffee. The word if is your biggest hint there. You don't have to assume that A thinks B wants to buy coffee because A is not assuming it. A is using the word if. If you want to buy coffee, then buy Nescafe. So he's not assuming that B definitely wants to buy coffee. The word if is a very clear indicator that A is not assuming B wants to buy coffee. He's giving the choice. So first assumption, not required. But A definitely assumes that Nescafe is good. Right? वरना वो Nescafe को recommend क्यों करेगा? We don't think ulta teda, we assume good things. So the second assumption is true, but not the first one. Amanbir, if you ever want to go for a vacation, you must go to McLeodganj. Am I assuming that you want to go for a vacation? If you ever want to give the IIT JEE exam, you must study from a book called Irodov. I'm not assuming you want to give the IIT exam. I'm saying if you want to give, do it. Else don't do it. The word if removes the assumption part. Right? Now, second one. Lot of guys are saying we can't assume the second one. Tell me, ordinarily, if you are recommending something, would you recommend it if you don't assume it is good? Would you recommend something if you don't think it is good? And we think good things about people. Aditya, we don't assume A is a bad person. In general, we assume that people are honest. Honest is what we assume. So whenever we hear an advice being given, isn't the assumption that it is good? Yes, Aditya. Normally, ideal situation ही लेंगे. In advice, we normally assume that the advice giver has good intentions. So the assumption is always that when you are giving advice about an object, it is good. You won't recommend bad things. The assumption about recommendations always is that you think it is good. Right? About recommendation of objects, the assumption always is that you recommend good things. Assuming that the person has ill intentions is too filmy. Nah. Straightforward world, simple world. Keep it a simple world. For the first statement to be implicit, the statement should be A says to B, buy Nescafe. If ko hata do. If wala part hata do. If A says to B, buy Nescafe, then the assumption is that B wants to buy coffee. You get that, Amanbir? Okay, chalo. Next one. It is an important matter. The Prime Minister is not taking any decision with regard to declaring war against our hostile neighbor. If the Prime Minister is not taking a decision with regard to war, then only one of two things possible. Either it is important that you immediately take the decision, or it is important that you think about it. and not be in a hurry to take the decision. Now, which one? Do you assume that it is so important that you cannot make a mistake, so don't hurry? Or do you assume that it is so important that you cannot delay it, it has to be done quickly? One of them has to be true, but which one? I don't know. So, either one of them can be true. Either it is so important that you cannot afford to do the delay, or it is so important that you cannot be hasty. One of them is true. I don't know which one. So assume either one of them. The Prime Minister is not taking a decision. So either you think that the matter is important, he should do it immediately, is what you're assuming, or you're saying that the matter is so important, you cannot afford to take a wrong decision. So either you assume that it should be hurried, or you assume it should not be hurried. But you don't do, but both of them cannot be done, and at least one of them has to be done. So either one of them. Assumption, Shubhankar, assumption. When you hear about a decision, you assume that it should be immediate, or you assume that it should be done after due consideration. Which one? I don't know. So either one. Are we together on that? Everyone. Yes, the statement is to be, the decision is to be taken. Either it has to be taken immediately, or it has to be taken carefully. The statement says that the decision is not being taken. Either the Prime Minister is wrong because it needs to be taken immediately, or the Prime Minister is right because you cannot hurry. I do not know what is the situation. But one of these two things is necessary. Correct? Manush. That's it. Assumptions. They are not what has happened. It is what are the possibilities. Chalo. Read this book for the exam. Advice hai. So, this book is good for the exam. Right? Book good hoga, to hi wo suggest karoge. So, the book is good for the exam. So, that is obvious. If the person is preparing for the exam, you will say prepare for it. If the person is not preparing for an exam, will you advise him which book to read? Will you advise him which book to read if he is not preparing for the exam? So, my answer has to be E. Simple one. Answer definitely has to be E. I think most of you got this one right. I wish all the exams were this simple. Amanbir, we always assume that any advice given is usually good advice. Why would you give bad advice? Right? Advice is always assumed to be good. Why would anybody give bad advice? Or at least the person giving the advice thinks that it is good advice. If I know my advice is bad, would I even give it? Aditya, correct. Because there is no if, hence you can assume that the person is preparing for an exam. If there was an if, then you cannot assume that he is preparing. Correct. Chalo. I'm surprised to find that every student is studying only English but not his or her mother tongue. Why are you surprised? Surprise can be pleasant, surprise can be unpleasant. Either you are assuming that it is good and hence you are pleasantly surprised, or you are assuming that it is bad and hence you are unpleasantly surprised. Surprise can be either way, right? So either one. No, Aditya, surprised is used is that it is not usually only in context of good. The soldiers were caught in a surprise when the enemy attacked them. Do you think that is good? The soldiers were caught by surprise when the enemy suddenly started firing. Do you assume both it is good and bad? Either you will assume that, see, a person will only assume it is good or bad. Why will you assume both at the same time? नम्र, ऑपोजिट थिंग्स एक साथ आप कैसे अज्यूम करोगे? या तो आप सोचोगे अच्छा है, या तो आप सोचोगे बुरा है, राइट? You think it is good that everybody is studying, that's why you are surprised, you are happy surprised. Or you think it is a bad thing that nobody is studying the mother tongue, and hence you are shocked and surprised. Exactly, Namra. You don't need, see, if it is neither good nor bad, would you be surprised? Would you be surprised if you don't think it is good or bad? No. So your surprise is either because you think it is good or you think it is bad. If you are neutral, तो तुम surprise ही नहीं होगे. You are surprised. D. You see, if it is neither good nor bad, then you won't be surprised at all. Namra, do you get that? D means ना अच्छा है ना बुरा है, तो सरप्राइज भी नहीं है. सरप्राइज है क्योंकि either you are thinking it is good or you are thinking it is bad. If you are not thinking either, if you are thinking not good not bad, तो you are not even surprised. कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता है आपको. Do you get that? हाँ. Ansh, poor people were surprised with food, or poor people were surprised by Selma. Okay, you're getting that, Ansh, right? I hope you are giving that. Ansh gives a very good example. When you give food to people, they are surprised, happy. Salman Khan's car also surprised them, but definitely not in a good way. Brilliant example. Chalo. The ticket for balcony class is atrociously priced at rupees 200. Atrociously means terrible. Too much. Can I assume that other tickets are decently priced? No. I do not say only the ticket for balcony is atrocious. I am saying balcony class atrocious है. दूसरे class भी हो सकता है atrocious है. So whether they are decently priced or atrociously, I don't know. So my first assumption is not required. Whether the other classes are decently priced or not is irrelevant. So my first one, whether other classes are decently priced or not, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. हो तो भी फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, ना हो तो भी फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. So first one is not required. Second one, if 200 is not a big amount to pay, then will you say कि यार क्या गंदा, क्या बकवास प्राइस है? Would you say कि terrible प्राइस है? No. It is because 200 is a very big price that you are complaining that ये कुछ हद कर दी इन लोगों ने. When you say something is atrocious, you are saying कि हद कर दी. If 200 is not a big amount, you will not complain about it. But you are complaining. That means you do think it is a big amount. So second one is implicit. Did you get that? The second one is definitely implicit. The first one is not. Did you get this? Yes. Okay. Next one. Guys, we'll end at this, right? We'll take this one and we'll end here. I'll send across the PDF so that you can check the other answers. But let's just take this last one. Everybody loves watching Bushkashi. First of all, just because everybody loves watching Bushkashi, I don't need to assume that it is the only sport which everybody likes. Everybody loves Bushkashi, they may love something else also. So I don't need to assume that it is the only sport which is liked. Other sports may also be liked. Second, why do I need to assume Bushkashi is a sport? It could be something else, it could be a movie, or it could be just a performance by a person, or it could be literally the name of a person. Right? Even if it is not a sport and it is something else, people may still love watching it. So it doesn't have to be a sport. So I don't need to make either of these assumptions. So D. Now, GK question. If the statement had only in it, where everybody loves watching only Bushkashi, then also in the first assumption the word sport, why do I need to assume it is the only sport? It could be the only movie, it could be the only dancer, it could be the only performer. The word sport I don't need to assume. Right? Now, anybody, do you know what is Buzkashi in reality? Yes, there is a thing called Buzkashi. And yes, it is a sport. It is the national sport of Afghanistan, in which people on horses, they ride. It's like polo, but instead of a ball, they actually toss sheep. बकरा घेटा जो sheep होता है जिसमें से wool मिलता है. A sheep is thrown from person to person when they are riding on horse. You can search for on YouTube, you will get to see this. Right? The sport has also been shown in a movie called Khuda Gawah. Many years back, even before you guys were born, there was a movie of Amitabh Bachchan called Khuda Gawah. Amitabh Bachchan and Sri Devi, in which one of the scenes shows the sport of Buzkashi. So Buzkashi is actually one of the sports, I think it's a national sport of Afghanistan, where it's people on horseback, they throw sheep. Terrible. Anyway, so guys, we will end it here, right? Because most people are requesting me, they're tired. I'll send across the PDF for you to check the remaining answers. So if there are any doubts in today's session, you may hang around and ask. Else, if there are no doubts, then we are done for the day. You may exit the session. Have a good day and stay safe.